Do this. Okay. Talk to me, Cleveland. What's going on? It's your brother Kevin Chillherit. Now, I want to tell you right now that it's an open. This may be a short show. It may not be, but this is open mic night. If you want to just come on into the Zoom link, talk about something, talk about whatever. Make sure that you come on and you can just come on in. I put the Zoom link. Okay, Shawn, you coming on because I need to tell the people that the Mossy Warrior Clan, the Kofi Pi Psi research team, tried to jump on me the other day. Man, where is my? See, I gotta get my ice cube. Okay, I'll get it. Anyway, the Kofi Pi Psi research team tried to jump on me the other day. Man, I didn't think those brothers was like that. It was, man, we'll talk about it. Okay, but anybody wants to join in today, just come on in and we can talk about whatever. Couple things happened over the last couple of days. Anybody was tuned into the GCLABJ forum? Man, nice. As president of the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists, I was very proud of the team, my executive board, of the crew, of just the body, of everybody that put it together. I was proud of y'all. It was an excellent event. I think it's still on my page. Let me handle some things first. I want to give a shout out to my brothers up at Iman Roofing. You already know, imanroofing.com, IMAN roofing.com for a free roofing inspection. If you're in Northeastern Ohio area, give them a call, 216-678-9445. You can see the information on the Chill Talk page across the banner. Share the show if you like right now. Also, you know how we do it. We rap it. Even though they tried to jump on me, they was throwing spears at me. Anyway, Spears of the Mossy, Volume 1, the Kofi Pi Psi research team, my brothers, all the way in the Senegambia, in the Gambia. This book is doing amazing, incredible things over on the continent with the Gay and Darrrel Skills Academy. Please, if you don't know about it, find out about it. I know that Shawn will put the information link to get this book, and then you can find out what's going on over between the Kofi Pi Psi research team. Hit up my girl Ladosha, man. This is doing wonderful, incredible things. My goodness, man! If you only could see what's happening in the continent, in the motherland, with this book by my brothers. When I held this book up the first time, y'all didn't know that this was going to be all the way in the motherland. Please do yourself a favor. Hit up the link. Shawn will put it in the link. Get a copy, Volume 1. But in addition to Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 2, From Spears to Pens, a historical survey of the minds of African warrior scholars, Volume 2. Check that out. These two books, y'all want to get down with these two books. My brothers put it in. They putting in that work and more stuff to come. And we'll talk to Shawn. I got a package. All right, we'll talk about that as well. What's going on to the people watching the show? Shawn is in there. Shawn, you already see the link, bro. All right, so my mom is watching, and everybody else who's in there, share the show. You know, stuff going on in the news. Let me real quick for the people, and you can go on the GCLEABJ website, Facebook page, and see. I haven't posted on my page, of course. And it's the GCLABJ, the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists. Yesterday, we hosted a virtual town hall forum, and the topic of discussion was Trump versus Biden and the black vote. We had representatives of the Republican Party. It was headed up by Sister Donna Walker Brown, and the Democratic Party headed up by Sister Chantel Brown. The Brown sisters, they're not related. I asked. I did ask if they were related. No, just sisters, last name Brown. But it was an incredible event. I came on, I said my thing, and I passed it to our two hosts, GCLABJ, Madam Vice President, Chilltalk's own advertising manager, the amazing Ms. Rhonda Crowder, and the broadcast anchor that you know and love, Mr. Russ Mitchell, handled it. They handled it. It was an amazing event. Shawn, where'd you go? Come back. You in there, bro? Just hold on. Shawn, get back in there. Unless you're going to do something else. I saw you in there, Shawn. So come on back in the Zoom meeting. And as well as that, you can see the link. Join the convo. Join the Zoom convo. It's in the description box. The link is actually in the description box. So anybody who wants to come on and join us and just say whatever they want to say, talk about whatever they have going on, what they see happening in the news, what's going on in Louisville, what's going on with Ruth, the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, just what's happening in your life. You have some business you want to, this is your chance to come on and shout it out. But anyway, big ups to the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists. It's amazing. Thousands of people watched it. The actual Zoom room sold out, but thousands of people watched it on the various shared sites. So big ups to everybody. You can still go and see that forum. It was a debate, but it was a forum. But listen. Okay, I'm about to let Shawn on. I got two things. I got to talk to Shawn about this package. And, hey, Andrew Parker was there. Okay, we have the super producer, Felicia. Oh, you really in trouble now, Shawn. Let me let Felicia in the building. She might have something. We might be preempted with some actual programming. The super producer is in the building. Let's see if we can get Felicia Haney up in here. All right, let's see if we can get Haney. Ask her to unmute. All right, she is unmuted. We can hear her. We don't see you yet, Felicia.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, are you cooking again? Another vegan?
I was finishing my sandwich.
Hot tamale. Man, every time you come on here, you. Okay, do we have programming, or can I bring Shawn in to talk about his new book and how the Mossy Warriors tried to jump on me the other day?
Go ahead.
All right, while you eat your sandwich, let me get Shawn in here because we got two things to talk to Shawn about: the package, this, and the travesty that took place the other day. All right, here we go. Let's bring Shawn in here and see. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's get to the bottom of this. Okay, Shawn doesn't have any. I see his visual. I don't see any mic for Shawn. I see his book. I don't see any mic. No mic for Shawn. Shawn, get. You don't even have a. Oh, there you go. You have a microphone. Let's see if we can get you unmuted. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in here.
Okay. What you want to talk about first, Shawn? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Ini-Herit Shawn Kalfani from the mighty Mossy Warrior clan and the Kofi Pie Side research team. Shawn, what you want to talk about first? You want to talk about this package? Or you want to talk about how y'all tried to jump me the other day?
We can get into how we are you trying to, okay, I see what you're trying to do. That was cute.
What's that? What you talking about?
Nah. You right. We tried to jump you. That's what you said.
Y'all tried to jump me.
Try to jump you.
Okay, let me tell you.
Nah. Let's say how it really went.
Okay. Okay.
LaDosha having the interview. LaDosha having the interview. All I see is MC Chill in the chat. Talking about Kofi where the bars at.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah. Testing my man Gangster.
Okay. You do. Oh, see, now they coming up in here. All right. But you do know that we can screen, shot how it actually happened, right? You do know that.
Yeah. But all the people gonna see is you commenting in the chat. You was throwing bars in the chat, talking about Kofi. I'ma hold you. You said Kofi said he had bars. You said you was gonna hold Kofi to that. Then you start punking him.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna let you shoot your version. Shawn. Okay, matter of fact, no, we're not doing that. This is what happened, everybody. It was an excellent program. My BFF, LaDosha, you know who she is, LaDosha Wright. All of her enterprises, the reference design team, the books, the products. You know how LaDosha does it. She's being interviewed on Kofi Pieside TV. The authors. What's the name of the platform?
Author's Perspective.
Author's Perspective. So I'm coming to make sure I'm paying my respects to the brothers from the Mossy Warriors to the research team and to support my BFF LaDosha. Next thing I know, I hear Kofi Pieside throwing shots. Like, chill, you disrespecting these Southern bars. You don't know nothing about these Southern bars. So I'm like, okay, don't talk about the bars. That's where I'm from, Shawn. We don't talk about, all I said was, don't talk about the bars. The next thing I know, they closed down, started up, they did like a Ankh or something. Okay, let me tell you, a couple other people do that. Shut that down, started up a whole new channel, and then they start jumping on me. Then they start dropping videos on me. Kofi dropped a video on me. Satep and Rob Mary Almond dropped a video on me. Then Kofi came back, dropped another video on bars. With bars. I'm like, man, I'm getting jumped by the Kofi Pieside research team. Shawn was even trying to drop some bars on me.
I ain't trying.
Yeah, Shawn, that was, bruh. Okay, I can see Kofi has done that before. I could tell that he's dropped bars. He wasn't new. September, I don't know what he was doing. He had advertising bars. That's cool. You want to shoot the shot and shout out your people. He had a commercial. All right, we dropping bars. September, hey, that's my man. But he had a commercial. That's cool. He did a shout out. And Shawn, I don't even know what. Stop it. But anyway, they tried to jump on me.
Oh man, you see what you said, man.
Okay. What's it? Chavis Hessel said Shawn don't want to talk about that. He don't want to. Okay, what he doesn't want to talk about is they got mopped. That's what.
Nah.
I felt so bad after I dropped them bars on y'all. I had to take them down. I said, man, I don't want the people to see what I did to them. Man, murder was the case that they gave me. I had to do that.
Well, we recorded it, so we got the bars.
I didn't want the people to see that. Now, if you want to show your own murder, that's on you. But I didn't want any part. Y'all my boys, man. I didn't want anybody to see me doing y'all like that. That wasn't right. But y'all started it. Okay, before we talk about the package, anything else on the Kofi Pieside research team tried to jump on me? Okay, you in trouble now because there's Felicia, the super producer. Felicia, they tried to drop bars. They whole squad showed up. Dropping bars. They made like 3 videos, Felicia.
You ask for it. How you go? You know what I'm saying? You gonna ask for it. You challenge the man.
I didn't challenge him. Felicia, you know how we do it. When somebody comes on the show talking about they got bars or they can rap or they can sing, what do?
Challenge.
You got to show and prove.
You got to show and prove. That ain't a shot. Like, just, come with it. But they made videos at me. 3. They kept making. I couldn't go to sleep.
Why was they coming for you?
Shawn, their representative. Shawn, what's the problem, bro?
He asked for it. He made a special.
What?
Felicia, he made a special request. He did, because Kobe said, okay, Chill, I got you when we done. Chill said, okay. So, Kobe gave him some of them Southern Mississippi bars.
Man, they made 3
and then
different
Chill
videos.
responded.
Oh, well, I was going to respond.
And then Satep got in it. And then Chill made one of Satep. Then Kofi dropped another one. And then I think Chill, you responded again.
That's
and then we wake up the next day, Vince responds.
Oh, wait a minute. I still have to review that. Felicia, my big bro, Vince Robinson, I think he dropped some bars on me.
Vince Robinson?
You see how they did? That's not right. They went and got Vince. Now they know I don't want to kill Vince like that. If Vince was looking like I didn't really get a chance, but he was looking like whatever he was saying, he thought it was real spicy. And I heard my name. I said, Vince, what are we doing? He said, oh, no, Chill. You got to hear it. We all on the same team. It's in the spirit of hip hop. So that was under review. But if y'all make me have to get my boy Vince, man, Shawn,
I ain't got nothing to do with this friendly fire.
Hey, man, anyway.
I've never known Vince Robinson to be associated with bars, dropping bars.
Okay, Vince, man, we gonna have to get Vince to talk about it.
He got a video up rapping.
I didn't hear the whole thing, but his bars was kind of like, like Satep's. He had like a commercial. He was
commercial bars.
Commercial. And when I say commercial, I don't mean commercial like he was advertising. Satep was advertising like the squad. He was advertising the books, what they doing. It was a promotion rap. Vince, from what I heard, and I'm gonna have to go back and check, he was dropping some information on what he does and who he gets down with and information that he knew. But I know I heard my name in there somewhere. So I'm gonna have to check that. But anyway, before I open this package, Felicia, where have you been? Did you see the GCLABJ forum yesterday?
I did see the forum. So I logged in and I was on early before everything got going, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the concept. I thought that was well, but I don't know if necessarily the matchup was.
Yeah, what, you didn't think that the one of the other sides handled their business?
No, the Republican side did not handle their business. So not that, and I was mentioning this to Rhonda earlier today, not that I was like, pushing for the Republicans. So far, I mean, I wasn't pushing for either side, but I just wanted them to come with a little bit more, to make it a more interesting debate or more interesting. And I just felt like I didn't really get that. So it kind of ended up being one-sided. And so that part.
Did Chantel walk her?
Yes, she did.
Okay, I can't say that as president of the organization. I have to be biased to our 2 participants. Unlike how Shawn and them did me, but we'll get back to that. Now,
Well, you're a journalist still at the end of the day, so you can give your perspective. You just covering something, you know. It just
I don't know. As president of the organization, I don't know if I want to talk about how the other side got done. I don't know, but I will say that my mother said that Chantel girl, she good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what about the other girl? My mother said, bless her heart. All right, Shawn, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me tell you. Here, I got a package the other day in the mail. I know it was.
You opened it and read it and said they were suckers.
I got a letter from the government. No, this not a. So I opened it, and bam, Shawn's new book, his children's book. One night before bed, man, I was excited to get this, man. This is, and as I went through it, man, Shawn got work for these kids. He's not just telling them a story. It's like you got to answer some questions. Shawn, what made you, like they have, what is the name of the spoken language in Kemet? Like he's asking questions. You got to answer. These kids have to answer questions, but he's giving good information. He's breaking down history. These kids, the babies, go learn something with this book. Shawn, talk to me about this. What's the purpose behind this? How'd you come up with this?
Yeah, so the story behind is my son was, studying over the summer, and he was reading one of those books where, you have to retain what you're reading and then answer questions and so on and so forth. So what I ended up doing was I ended up saying, you know what, let me try to put something together that can resemble him and allow him an opportunity to be able to retain information from different perspectives, historically, scientifically, linguistically, and otherwise. So I wanted to walk everybody through the work, and we start in one place and then we end up at a distant place, and it kind of goes from there. And along the way, you do have to answer some questions and test out, and then you get the reward at the end of the day going from there.
So what age range is this book for? Who?
I'm gonna say eight and up, because adults can learn a lot of this information, because a lot of the information that's in the book is centered to that.
I see your man Satep. Satep is in the building. Satep, come on in here. You tried to jump on me too, man. It's Satep.
One second.
Satep from Ohio. I can't even believe he. Come on, bruh. OHI, Buckeye State. You didn't try to jump on me too. Come on. The link, the Zoom link is in the what's it called? What's the doggone thing called at the top with the information in it? Anyway, it's in there. It's in the description box. There you go. So yeah, so come on in there, Satep, and let me know why you tried to help them jump. I know that's your squad, but still you tried to help them jump on me. But now, at what point, Shawn, did you know that this was going to be more than just a book for kids? At what point did you know you wanted to actually test them? Because I rarely see that in kids' books. They read, they get the information, but you actually have a test for them throughout this book. At what point did you know you wanted to do that?
Like I said, man, when I saw my son just doing that work, it just really wasn't gonna be retainable for him, and I just felt like there was other things that he could learn more and to help him process. And by doing it this way, he's actually learning something other than what he was actually learning during that curriculum book that you can buy on Walmart, for grade levels. First, second, third, fourth, whatever the grade levels are, kindergarten and so on and so forth for pre-K. So I was like, how about, We storyline it a particular way, right? All this was formulating in my head, storyline it a particular way, ask questions along the way, and then, you know, make it something that you could actually retain and can relate to even later in life. Because some of this stuff will come back to questions being asked in higher grades, right? Especially from a scientific and a historical perspective. So I wanted to make sure that we had those in there. And then also just identifying different languages, right? So this makes a kid think about those things. And even though it's multiple choice, I don't give the answers in the book. I don't give the answers in the book. This is, you know, so if your kid is reading this book, right, the story gives them the answers.
Right.
But the answers are not going to be in the back of the book to go this, and this, so they can cheat.
Right. Right. So no, that's a beautiful thing. You have good information. Shawn, you got the Ashako bone in here. You came with some information that not just children are gonna need. Hey, Shelly, Shockley, Satep, Andrew Parker, the Zoom link. If you want to jump in and just shout us out. And Shelly, and let me know if you watched the event yesterday, the GCLABJ event. Let me know what you thought about it. Drew, I know you saw it. LaDosha, there you go. LaDosha, my BFF, is in the building, and she saw y'all try to jump on me. Team Shockley. So yeah, LaDosha, anybody, come on in. The Zoom link is in the description box. But yeah, Shawn, this is an amazing book, man. I can't wait to share it to kids, to the children of all ages, because you have some good information in here that you're right. More than just children are going to need to those information. And where can they find out how to get this book?
Yeah, you can purchase the book directly from me. You can DM me. You can also go to kofipiesitv.com/learning center, or you can order the book on Amazon.
Okay, so is Amazon right now?
Yeah, it's on Amazon too.
How would you prefer people to?
You can order from me directly.
Okay, all right. You already see LaDosha. LaDosha is in the building. She says she wants a book.
Okay.
Shelly, LaDosha, I don't know if Shawn gonna give you a book. Remember, he didn't even want you to have the hoodie.
Oh man.
He didn't want you to. He rolled down on me. He called me up. He regulators, mount up. He wouldn't even let me give you the hoodie, LaDosha. Okay, so now you want me to give you a book. Okay, we gonna make sure we make that happen. Shelly Shockley says that I just missed it. Shelly, you will come in. She said, yeah, she watched it, and Chantel was on point. Big ups to both of those sisters who participated. They both showed up, but returns clearly think that one side did a little better than the other side. But that's, we'll review the footage and see. As like when I watch a battle rap, is who won in the building and who won on tape. After you go back and you watch the tape, then you might have a different thought about what happened. But yeah, no, come on, Satep, come on, bro, come on in. Shelly, Drew, I need you to come in because Drew was. I could have sworn Drew was in there rooting for the Republican side in the chat. I saw you in there, so. Let me know what you thought of it, and yeah, give me your thoughts. So come on, bro. The link is in the. You made a video about me, bro. The link is in the description box. So anybody who wants to come in and join in, they can do that. So yeah, support those brothers. All information coming from the Kofi Pieside research team. For sure, that the information that they're given has been researched. They're called a research team. All right, so the information that's in here, that it is not something you go kick it at your kids. go be saying, yeah, let me tell you this. And they could be like, what? Where you get that from? No. So really quick before we move on to something else, and I don't know if Satep, he making videos, he jumped on me, but he could come up in here. Up in my house.
Yo, so real quick, Chill. Can I show you something real quick?
Okay, first of all, what is it gonna be?
It's the book. So
okay, see, I gotta check with you, bro.
The book was gonna look like this at first, but it was kind of I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it. So you ended up getting a better looking version of the book. So it's the same information. I just changed the background up for it to work a little better.
Okay.
So that everybody can get it. Now the pictures are in color. There's even a space for kids or adults to color in the back. So you can color. There's a grade scale on here. Now it's up to the parents.
Okay.
To grade out the child. Now if you want to get them to use a piece of paper, mark down their answers and so on and so forth as they go through, and you go back and check behind them, you can do that. That's absolutely fine. There's also, Chill, go to the next page for me.
Which one?
Not the next page. Can you go to the
give me a number.
Let's go to page 30. It's back there where the pictures of the kids at.
Okay, yep.
I give you additional
reading sources.
There you go. Right. So for people who want further information on, something that you want to read and talk about and things of that nature, I give you that. Just to brighten up your studies and things of that nature, because there's some good questions in here. There's some good stuff in here. And it's going to pique your interest. So that's why I say, about 8 and up. Some 6-year-olds could read this. Some 5-year-olds possibly can get some of these words down, but not all, because there's some big words in there as well. So pronunciations, kids can learn from the pronunciations. But it's an interactive book for pretty much, I'm going to say 8 and up. And it just gives people an opportunity, man, to kind of just learn a little bit more than what they know right now. And that's all about advancing scholarship and making sure our kids are up on some of these things, because we don't know some of this stuff. When you look at history or you look at science, they don't talk to you about some of the things that I have in this book.
Okay, I do have a couple more questions, but Shelly is saying that she doesn't see the Zoom link. It's in the description box, Shelly. Shawn, is that where you found the link at, in the description box?
Yes, sir. That's where I found it.
Okay, it is a Shelly. I'm guaranteeing you, in the description box that talks about what the show is and all of that. It's in there. It might have to. Yeah, you should be able to see it. If not, I know it's there because Shawn got on with it. But I will go ahead and see if I can do it while we're talking. Now, Felicia, I don't know if you've been listening to this not about them jumping on me, but about Shawn's new book. I don't know if you had some questions while we have Shawn on here about his children's book. Really cool book. Nice color and all that. Color inside. They have, like I said, they have questions. Kids they got to do some work.
Mm-hmm.
So did you, while I go and re-put this in there for Shelly, talk to Shawn real quick.
Well, I don't have a copy of this book, nor do I have a copy of the other books.
Oh, see?
See what
you mean the producer of Chill Talk doesn't have a copy of the books that we pub every single show?
No, I have no copies.
Wow. Okay, you at least got a T-shirt though, right?
Didn't even know there was one.
All right, we got to see. We have to see.
So what? So I don't know. I mean, if you have children yourself, but how was that? How was the process with putting it together and knowing like how to relate to this age group?
Yeah, I use my 8-year-old as an example for setting the standard for the actual book, and that gave me the benefit of being able to actually continue to dive a little bit deeper and help him out as far as his studies and things of that nature go. So I just took that and I used him as the example, and I patterned all of that after his learning behaviors and things of that nature, the things that they were actually teaching him in school.
Okay, cool.
Okay, hit him with something else,
So,
Felicia, while I put this in here for Shelly.
so what's your ultimate goal from the book?
The truth is the ultimate goal is to help not only my son, but other family members, kids as well, be able to learn um, a different way of learning, because retaining what you're reading is one of the bigger things for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just think that with that being a process, if we make it fun and exciting for them and they see themselves in books and things of that nature, then it's more retainable to them because now they can relate to it. A lot of books they can't relate to, and the learning isn't there for them. Well, it's not fun for them to be able to learn that way because of the relativeness.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is your first children's book.
Yes, first children's book.
Mm. So do
Okay.
you plan on doing more, or how do you?
Yeah, I am formulating some things now and putting together some stuff for other areas of study to help. I'm kind of waiting on a collab with with a particular doctor on some math stuff potentially, but I am going to dive into other areas of study just so that we can give kids uh, another way to look at these things and see if we can get them to pick up their learning in a different way, and that helps them retain information more, because it's as long as you know some things, how to get to the correct answer any particular way, as long as you got the correct answers and you can show your work, that's important. And we just can't be stuck to what the kids are just learning in school. It's got to be a little bit more than that. So extracurricular learning is always important and impactful for the advancement of knowledge.
So then how are you getting this to them? Like you're saying, your ultimate goal is just, for the truth to be out there, for these kids to get this, learn it. Are you actively seeking to put it somewhere like in schools or libraries? What's your plan for it?
I have not begun to actively approach getting it in schools and things of that nature. Right now, I am just trying to get it into as many hands as possible. So I do a lot of that on social media, per se, as far as advertising, and then of course people that I know already, and like a few teachers. I do know a few teachers, so just getting it into their hands and letting them, use it as examples, because a lot of times teachers will read over the work and then they don't see any issues with it or whatnot, and they have their conversations and things of that nature, and they may bring it up um, as a good story to read to the children and get them to follow along, because the way that it is actually written, it's telling a story, it's asking questions, just keeping them engaged. It's doing all the things that you really want a book to do, versus a different book that they sit down and they read a whole story and then they don't really get much out of it because they're not retaining everything, because it's just page after page after page, and or a few little images or pictures, and it's not really asking the kid much. So in this format, it tells that story. It asks those questions in the middle of the story, and it keeps them engaged throughout the process, and they can come back to things and retain more because of how everything is in there.
Okay. Now,
So
go ahead, Felicia.
when you speak of these, the messages in your book, what is it that you are providing that they're not getting in schools?
Basically a scientific understanding, because basic science, if you look at the science curriculum in most public schools that our children go to, they don't really talk about certain things scientifically. It's the same old patterns. Historically, it's the same old patterns. And then as far as languages, we're stuck at English, and now with Spanish being the forefront, so there's no mentioning of other languages or hinting at an idea of what an other language would look like. And so from those perspectives, it kind of deals with that. And, archaeology, these kids don't even, they don't get to talk about archaeological sites or digs or anything like that, something that may be of interest for them. They just women it all the way. So those are some of the key points.
Now, I do want to add, during when we're not dealing with the COVID, Felicia and I have gone to schools and read to the kids,
Yeah, as well as that.
Yeah, as well as many members of our journalists association. But oftentimes we've gone and most of the times I've taken LaDosha's book, so we're gonna have to see if it's okay with LaDosha for me to split some of that time with Curly Hair Adventures to go ahead and read to the kids one night before bed. But I'm sure that she'll be all right with that. But yeah, I look forward to. And then we haven't all the kids have been receptive to the books or the reading that we come and do. Felicia, I don't think we had to deal with no bad kids. No kids tried to jump on us or nothing, have they?
I don't know. You usually do the reading. I'm just your photographer.
Felicia did get some good pictures of me reading. She got so.
I just take the pictures of him reading the books to the kids.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and the kids love it. So again, Shawn, let the people know where they can. I mean, you have the link in the chat, but again, let them know the various places that they can get this book.
Absolutely. You can message me directly in my inbox. You can go to KofiPieSideTV.com/learning center. You also can cop the book on Amazon as well. It is available on Amazon. Because I know most people, they might be Prime members and want to use that Prime membership to get it how they want to get it. But it's hot off the press. I did a pre-release form before the book actually went, and all of those are gone. I've got some good feedback so far from a lot of parents as far as how the book's read. Now, I've even asked those same parents, did you read it and answer the questions, or was your child a part of it? And what I've heard is both positions have taken places. The parent has engaged in reading it for themselves and the child. So, that's a good thing, because that's what you really want to do with a book. 11-year-old, 7th graders, 8th graders, high schoolers, there's no limit to what's in this book that may work for them. So.
Yeah, no, I will say that, you obviously have some things in this book that aren't in, not only are they not in many kids' books, but even some of the books that adults read. You have, what is the name of the spoken language in Kemet? That's some information that we rarely run across. I mean,
right.
I had to take a class to get that information, an adult class, a class for grown people. And so you're getting the kids started out. So, so for them parents with young kids, and you get tired of reading Goodnight Moon, here you go. One night before bed. All right, Shawn, your boy Satep he still didn't show up he was in the chat. He didn't show up to let him know why he tried to jump on me, but that's cool.
He might be busy right now, helping his kids with their homework.
Okay, all right. He was in the chat though, so he was in the building. What's going on, Mika? So yeah. So anything else, Shawn? You staying out of trouble? No, bro. You still have it going on. Okay,
Oh, man,
Satep's still there.
really,
Satep said he's still here.
I don't have no problems with nobody, man. You know, I just try to stick to my guns.
Okay, and you sticking to him, that's for sure, bro. I see you out there. You continuing to drop that information. You ambidextrous. You handling different lanes all at one time. So big ups to you. Keep kicking that knowledge. All right, Shawn. Peace, bro.
You done with me?
I'm gonna be looking for your people trying to jump on me though.
Are you done with me now?
Okay, good luck with your book. Thank you for joining us, talking about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Shawn.
All right.
Team Shockley. Shelly Shockley. Come on.
What's up, Chilly?
What's happening, Team
Hey,
Shockley?
Hey, Felicia. You
Uh,
still texting me? I ain't know it took that long to get a text.
I do. So, as you guys know, Shelly was one of the people who won a bag about 2 weeks ago. I did deliver some of the other bags, but I did not get Shelly hers yet. I actually ran out, but I was supposed to re-up on them today. So, but I did not get a chance to meet Donna at the office to pick them up. So I probably will do that tomorrow, but I have not forgotten about you.
It's
and
all
I'll
good.
definitely get you your bag.
okay,
Sure.
Shelly, I noticed that is like a green screen.
I do. So I don't know how I look today.
Okay, but what I'm trying to
Her
figure
hair
out
blowing.
is that's what I'm saying. Like you can see the palm trees blowing in the breeze, but her hair also is. So how do you add that to it? That's an app? What is that? How does that work?
Out here playing with you.
It comes with Zoom.
Okay, my Zoom, you have air flowing with the palm trees comes with your Zoom.
She has a Beyonce feature that you do. You don't have. Sorry.
She has the Beyonce feature.
Y'all silly. Beyonce feature. You funny.
All right, Shelly, talk to me about. Did you see the event in its entirety?
I saw it in its entirety.
And I mean, how did this was our first attempt at a virtual town hall meeting, and we thought it was topical. But what was your overall view of the event itself?
No, overall, I think that you guys put up, it came across well. You did have some technical difficulties, but who doesn't have technical difficulties in this day and age? I myself, I understand who you chose and why you chose them. But I thought it was a very uneven matchup.
I said the same thing, Shell.
You had one who was just a black mouthpiece, reiterating all the nonsense that he says. And then you had articulate, succinct Chantel, coming back telling you, okay, you don't believe what I'm saying? Go check out, Lift Every Voice. That's the platform that's talking about reparations. And I was not familiar with Donna. That is right. I did.
Wait a minute, Chill. I'm just jumping in on what you're saying, Shelly. I'm not. I don't mean to cut you off, but you know who Donna is, don't you? I didn't connect these dots until just today because I was like, I know this woman. I know her from somewhere. Where do I know her from? Do you remember Beautiful Blue, Chill, the author? She used to come up to the Calling Post.
Beautiful
Blue. That is Donna.
Wow.
Okay, she didn't come up to the Calling Post when I was there, I don't think.
This is Donna, what's her name? Walker Brown.
Right.
Okay, so when she was Beautiful Blue, what was she doing up at remind me? I remember the name.
She was an author, and I don't remember. I remember she used to come up there about her books. I can't say I ever read any of her books because I'm not recalling like what they were about or anything, but I remembered the name and I knew I remembered her from somewhere. And so Yeah, I just connected those dots today and figured out that now the Republican, what is her official title? Do you know?
Executive director.
Executive director of the Republican Party?
I believe so.
Of Cuyahoga County. I have to look and see.
Yeah, Cuyahoga County Executive Director, Cuyahoga County Republican Party or whatever.
Formerly known as Beautiful Blue.
I was like, really? So, you know, but she just spouted, and then I think when she said, the question was, Donald Trump keeps saying he's going to make America great again. Russ asked the question. And so can you recall a time when America was great for African Americans? And when she said the 60s, I just fell out and died. I mean,
I know born in the 60s, but I know it wasn't a great time.
I mean, I was born in the 60s, so I didn't grow up per se. But Martin died. This one died. You know, there were the Huff riots, the Glenville riots.
Hey, in the 60s, black people was getting bit in their ass by dogs.
Exactly.
They was getting beat down with clubs. They were getting high-powered fire hose on them.
Exactly. So I'm like, where was she? What has she been living under?
Counters.
I couldn't believe it. Then she said,
well, maybe she meant that it was, they did say, was it great again, great for black people. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what she said. She said that it did not, it was great for a minute. And then she pointed. Then you people took over, and that's when it went to hell, basically. I'm like,
when the Democrats took over.
Right. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then when she said, what was the other thing that she said that just had me hollering? Oh, it was about Trump saying, about the Virginia situation, that there were those were good people down there. And so she said, well, I can't speak for what he says, but you know, if it's his stand, we have to go with it. And I'm like, well, what?
Yeah, she said he has his own agenda.
I was like, was you with Jim Jones or something and you drank the Kool-Aid? I mean, as much as I loved Barack Obama as the president, there were plenty of things that I didn't necessarily agree on. And I'm not just going to say I agree because I voted Democratic and you're the Democratic president. Come on. Right. Don't you have a mind of your own?
So I think that's kind of what I was looking for or what I was expecting. You know what I mean? Like just maybe a little bit more realness just because of the platform that was given. Like, you know, it's all us folk kind of in here, you know what I mean? So like, don't try to pull the wool over my eyes or whatever. You can have your, whatever your view is, you know, for either side, that's fine. But, just seemed like you came prepared. And I guess I just don't really see that. I just felt like there were only, a small amount of talking points that kept being referred to. And, you know, like, even if you know your talking points, but you know your stuff, or you know the other side's talking points. And I felt like that's what was going on in reverse. So I felt like on the Democratic side, they knew the Republican talking points and came prepared to respond to those. And I just felt like the Republican side just showed up, you know, and it was just kind of like, well, I mean, this is it, or this is the policy. This is
what he did. This is what he's doing. And she just kept repeating the same stuff. And it's like, but if you're here to convince other colored folk that they need to jump on that bandwagon, give me some substantial, you know, some substance as to why. Not the same rhetoric that we keep hearing. You know, and then when they asked about a black agenda, well, ain't no agenda came across my desk. I said, well, okay. You
As the
down with
president of the
Donald? Ain't
organization,
you
I'd like
figured
to
out?
thank that woman for showing up. But it was
Absolutely. I mean, and it's not a, it's not a brow, or a beating session or anything. It's just, it just is what it is. It just seemed like, you came to talk to a room full of journalists and whoever else was tuned in. The journalists were hosting it. And I just felt like you should have maybe brought your A game, especially given the platform. Like, you're not just talking to people you're not talking to children, or you're not talking to people who don't
know.
who don't know some things that are going on. And it's like, so if you are trying to sway anyone, you know what I mean, or get somebody to wake up, like, oh, you on the wrong side, you need to wake up and come, like, make your argument a little bit more compelling. And it wasn't that. I've heard people like, even on the Breakfast Club, they had this woman on there, I think her name is Angela Stanton or something like that. And it wasn't that I necessarily agree with everything she was saying, but she was like hitting some points where I'm like, damn, she kind of like eating, Angela Yee up, like, and it was like that on the other, like, come on, I want you to come back and say, whatever.
Right. I mean, make me think, because people want to say that we are too beholden to the Democratic Party.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a reason to want to be somewhat beholden, or give me a reason to flip the script and go to the Republicans.
Right.
That question was asked about Black voters being taken for granted by the Democratic Party. That question was issued to her. I mean, I do want to say, well, first of all, anybody who wants to join in on the conversation, I do have the Zoom link in the chat. Feel free to join us and let us know whatever you want to talk about. But what I wanted to bring up, Shelly, is, and this was only yesterday, but a lot of people have called me and suggested people who may have, could have fared a little better in that spot.
Okay.
Two names came up, Laverne
Gore.
Was it Jones Gore?
Mm-hmm.
And a new blood, Colin Jackson. Colin Jackson is Andrew Jackson's son. You know Andrew Jackson? Shelly, you know Andrew Jackson.
I should know him.
Not
the
the
name
president,
sounds
not the
familiar, but
president,
I'm trying
not
to
the-
picture.
Andrew Jackson, they used to be on the board of Caramoo.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. And I actually
It's not
spoke
the same son that had the Super Sweet 16 on MTV, is it?
I'm not
One of his sons had my Super Sweet 16 on MTV.
I'm not sure of that, but he is in a high-ranking member in the Republican Party of Cuyahoga County. So a lot of people said that's a sharp young brother, and that he would have fared well. But
I also asked about Laverne, but I think it was more so the fact that because she's a candidate, that it was just kind of, well, if we got the head of the Democratic, Party, Cuyahoga County, and then to kind of match it up evenly that way in terms of their titles or state, not necessarily. So I could see that. I could see the reasoning behind that, but after the actual debate happened, then it's like, okay, well.
Now there was an actual parallel person in the Republican Party that is the actual match of Chantel, and that person is not a black, it's a woman, but it's not a woman of color. So I don't know. Do you guys think that would have been an issue if she would have come forward to make the case for Trump and the party?
I would have liked to seen it how it played out in terms of it being a person of color, whether it was male or female. So I did like the fact that it was a person of color.
Yeah, because if the actual if Chantel's actual counterpart had come, then my question first off to her would be, how can you speak about my existence, my life, and how you can't walk in my shoes?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't, so it was best to have another person of color. And so that would have been, and but she came with what she came with. And if I were on the fence, she wouldn't have swayed me. I know that much.
Mm-mm. And I also feel that had it not been an African-American person, that sometimes we have a tendency to just write people off for that. So if we're inviting someone here to say whatever it is they're going to say or sway someone, you know what I mean, this way or that way. When I think of Republicans, I don't, most people don't usually think of Black people, although we know that Black Republicans exist, and that this is the real thing. But I think the point of interest even further is that you're Black and you're Republican. So maybe now I really want to listen a little bit more to what you have to say.
Yeah, because you've walked in my shoes, or
Mm-hmm.
allegedly, or I think you've experienced what I've experienced. So help me understand how it is that you can continue to follow this man's path. And I can see you being a Republican and trying to follow the party, but at the same time, because there's plenty of Republicans, although they're very spineless, that they detest him. They do not like what he's doing to their party, but they're spineless because they keep going right along with it.
Right.
Right. And I think they go along with it because of the fact that they see that his buffoonery has traction.
Right.
And that's what they want. They just just like they.
And then it's just party over everything. You know what I mean? It's like that you're just loyal to the party, no matter who it is. But then you're doing the same thing that you're telling Black people they shouldn't do with Democrats. You
Mm-hmm.
You tell them, don't be a blind follower. Don't just take whatever they tell you and go with you. But when the questions are asked to them, like, why are y'all supporting this man? Even when you've been vocal about, like, I don't really rock with him like that. Well, you just going with the party.
Right.
Now, I do want to
just even the hypocrisy of this whole Supreme Court thing,
Okay, put a pin on that one, Shelly. Hold on one second. I do want to give a shout out to more people watching us. Andre Morgan Jr., what's going on, Dre, in the building. My brother Darrrel Sullins. Darrrel, I have on, look, I have on my No Negations shirt. So big ups to Darrrel Sullins. He and his son and his new daughter-in-law.
Is that a brick kicking shirt?
You know what, Darrrel? You need to. Felicia wants to know about the brick kicking. You need the link is in the description, and it's in the chat. It's in the description box, even though Shelly couldn't find it there. But it's also in the chat. So I'm wearing my No Negation shirt. Your son got married the other day, and you still have to answer for the brick kicking. Felicia has questions. I have questions on how you thought you was gonna break 20 inches of concrete.
Woo!
So you need to come on and answer for that. So show up. Now, Shelly, okay, before we talk about how they are acting over, this open seat from the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Shelly, I wanted to, when I started thinking about the Republicans and Black Republicans in Cuyahoga County, and certainly, the old guard, there's a lot of old guard in Cleveland that were Republicans. Republicans founded the Call and Post newspaper. They ran the Call and Post newspaper. W.O. was a Republican. But I thought of my man Raplin.
Greasy lips.
Hey, Raplin, they called him Raplin the Republican, right? Did he contribute? Like, did he have like a little column or something in the paper?
I think at one point he may have, but he was just like a fixture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, but I think at one point he might have had a column or something.
Okay, but because when I think of Republicans at the Column Post back in the day, I think was his name Jim Raplin?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Raplin the Republican.
Yeah, yeah.
Although ownership of the Column Post has always been Republican from then till now.
Correct.
Although the current owner, Mr. King, has coined the term, he's a Republicrat.
Oh, is he a Republic? So, and what is that supposed to mean?
You know, I'm not trying to speak for Mr. King, but I have heard him use that term. He's a Republicrat. So
it's in the same book as Cobbling.
We'll get some clarity. That's my brother right there. We'll get some clarity on that one.
I've always said that he was a Republican because that was who pardoned him. So
hey, that's a good reason.
Anytime you can do what he did and get a pardon, I guess I would, ride with him too.
Okay, and while I bring Darrrel in, Shelly, really quick, just off the top, what do you think about this rush that the Republicans and that the president is trying to rush to fill that seat with a conservative when they just bogarted Barack Obama and was not getting his
and we even closer to the election now than we were then.
Right.
That was what, 20 months, and this is 90 days. I think that it is the height of hypocrisy, and I had heard early on that they expected the Dems to go to court, but it's like, go to court to who? At the level that you're going to go to court, them his people. And I know as much as the judicial seat is supposed to be nonpartisan, I don't see, although we've had a couple who have bucked him and said, I don't care who you are, the law is the law.
Right.
But the thing is, there is no law. But when I heard someone, I think it was he who said it, that, it wasn't him, it was McConnell. McConnell said, it's
Mitch
supposed to be, I
McConnell.
think it was McConnell, there's supposed to be 9 justices, and right now we're short one, and we need to fill that. I'm like, but you went 20 months without one, 24 months without one, because you did not want the Black man to have his opportunity to seat someone else. And I'm just, I'm concerned about it, because there are so many things that can be struck down now. And I'm really curious and concerned about what the world is going to look like for those who look like us. And, it's sad to say, but I keep thinking about those old movies that you would see of the poor Russian people eating potatoes. Everything they ate was potato something.
Right.
And that's just, I'm like, is this what he's trying to take us back, take us to? Because he idolizes Putin. We all know that he's looking to be, a dictator. So it's a sad situation. It truly is. And I just wish that 4 of them would grow a pair and say, no, we need to wait.
Yeah. Now I see Darrrel Sullins. He gets to the point where he's in the chat. I mean, in the Zoom. So try it again, Darrrel. I keep seeing you trying to get in, and I let you in, and then I don't know what happens. But we do have my man Crazon Dion, Crazy D. We're about to let into the building, and I'm sure he has some thoughts on a few things, and is willing to join in the conversation. Darrrel, I need you to try again, because you got to answer for he's coming in. You got to answer for those bricks the 20 inches of concrete that you was gonna break with your foot. Okay, my man Crazy D is in the building, coming in. We're gonna see if we can get Darrrel Sullins Sr. because we need to talk about the brick breaking. And while I'm at it, anybody that's in the chat, I mean, or just watching, again, if you want to donate anything to Chill Talk, you see Cash App and the PayPal. Any donation is welcome, so you already see it. If you feel so, donate something. We'll appreciate it.
So, Chill, do you have boots on the ground in Kentucky?
We are working on that. There's Darrrel Sullins. Like, you get centered, brother. Darrrel Sullins. What's going on, Darrrel?
I'm hearing double.
Okay, that's.
Oh, you got to turn off your Facebook.
Do you have your Facebook on?
Yes.
Okay, well then that's why you're hearing double.
Okay. Let me
You
see.
got to shut down your Facebook and just put it on mute. Just talk to us on Zoom.
Can you hear me?
That
We hear you. We hear you, D.
Okay.
Crazy, Shelly. I was saying that Kentucky situation is crazy. I mean, you know, anytime they get the board in the city up before
they knew what the outcome was.
Yeah, they knew
when
what
they
was
did that.
Hold on.
made, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
All right, Darrrel, are you ready for us?
No.
Okay, well we gonna go to D, Crazy D, because we know he's ready. You got to get you, Darrrel. Don't you do a podcast, bro?
Man, be quiet.
Don't you do a podcast, man? Anyway, we gonna go to Crazy D. D, what's going on, bro?
All right. First of all, how's everyone doing today? This evening. Well, it's evening for us, and it's night for you, I guess. So how's everyone doing?
Crazy D is in Vegas. He likes to always put that out there on.
Yeah, you know, yeah. But anyway, I have a question. Let's go back because I watched the debate yesterday. So I have some questions, right? And so, you know, I have some. For me, I'm not voting for racist 1. I'm not voting for racist 2. So we're just gonna get that out the way. First of all, okay. June 25th, 2016. Donald Trump comes down the escalator at Trump Tower. He has all of the people who they hired as extras to be his fan base, right? What did Donald Trump actually say about American Black people? What did he actually say about us coming down that escalator that day, June 25th, 2016? What did he actually say?
Okay.
He didn't say. It's so many sound bites on him. I can't even pinpoint.
No. When he came down the escalator that day.
Was this on The Simpsons or this? No. Go ahead. No.
That's a good one.
Go ahead,
Seriously though.
Yeah.
What did he say? Does anyone remember what he said when he came down the escalator that day, 2016, that activated American Black people to then call him racist and take the side of the Democrats that were against him, in my opinion, because he knew where the bones are buried, because he funded a lot of the Democrat things. So what did he actually say about us?
I think you have to tell us, bro.
I don't recall.
I don't. The only thing that I recall significant about prior to was when he said that he could stand on was it Fifth Avenue and
shoot somebody,
and shoot somebody and still get elected.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't talking about Black people then.
No, that's what I said. That's the thing that I remember from around that time.
From before he got elected. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when he came down the escalator on June 25th, he says about illegal immigrants. He said, coming across the border, some of them are good people. He always prefaces, some of them are good people. But he said, many of them are bringing the drugs, they're bringing crime, and all of a sudden, I just noticed from out of nowhere, it seemed like Black people, I ask this question all the time. I ask this question on my show when people call up to the show. And people, I say, what did he actually say about us? And they say, well, he was talking about immigrants. I say, are American Black people immigrants, or are we American citizens of the United States of America? So what he said about immigrants, illegal immigrants coming across the border have to do with American Black people? And my answer is always, when people say, well, nothing. Exactly.
Right.
Had nothing to do with American Black people. So why did American Black people all of a sudden jump up in arms like he said something about us? Now, let's talk about Africa for a second. Different countries in Africa. It's a third world continent that has all the riches, but it seems like the Africans in the different tribes and whatever, they cannot control within the 54 countries. They can't control their raw resources, right? So now the Chinese are setting up armies in there. Wherever the army is, that's their country. That's their nation. If an army is being set up, then that's their land. Because why would an army be set up? So that's the worst colonization I've seen of Africa since I read about it in a book. Now you got the 5'4" dudes over there telling the Africans what to do with their raw resources, their borders, their waterways, their ports, their land. So when Donald Trump said, can we curse on here, Chill? No, we can't.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Okay, right. With snit hole countries, I'm gonna change it up. When he said snit hole countries, what did that have to do with American Black people?
Well, hold on. You know, I think I muted.
No, I can hear you.
I muted Darrrel by accident. Okay.
I mean, what does that have to do with American Black people?
Well, it had nothing to do with American Black people.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going through the line of things, right? I'm just going through the line of things of what we see, because we watch a lot of TV because we review and talk about things so that people can have be really knowledgeable about what they're saying, right? So that has nothing to do. Now, if I'm over there, like Dr. Moonbi, she has a show that comes on. She's in Kenya, but she covers all 54 states of Africa. She's there on the ground. And she talked about last year, Nigeria had rolling outages of electricity. I'm not talking about the rural, because rural really doesn't have electricity. We're talking about the city. And she played a videotape where the woman was like, what? Why? We're in Nigeria. All of this corruption, how come we don't have electricity? I don't want to be in a place. I had a buddy that graduated from Trinity High School with me. And every time the South gets the hurricanes, he goes down there and he turns the grid. He does high tension lines, and he basically turns the electricity back on. I don't want to live anywhere where there's rolling outages. I live in a first world nation. So if I was over there, I would say the same thing. If I can't build a hotel over there, if I'm a mogul or I'm a hotel, a person that builds hotels, I would say the same thing. They are snit old countries because there's nothing that I can do over there. What does that have to do with American Black people? Nothing. Now, I heard you reference about the video about when he was talking about what happened in Charlottesville, right? Now the media.
Hey, now D, I do want to make this be your last point because we want to get to Darrrel. But go ahead, keep rocking though, bro.
Okay. So the Charlottesville situation, the media cut that video wrong. All you gotta do is go to YouTube and get the full thing. Donald Trump says, not talking about the nationalists, they chop it right there and they make him say something that he didn't say. He says, the nationalists, not talking about them, they are bad people and they have to be handled. That's what he said for what they did wrong. He says that. They cut that in the media wrong. I just want people to have the true knowledge of what's going on because I'm not voting for racist 1 or racist 2. And then
Okay.
when you come back to me, I'm going to break down both why. But he goes on to say, but there are good people on both sides. And the way that the media treated the people who were just protesting on both sides, on the one side that is, I guess you would say, the conservative, they did them wrong. But on the other side, which is now what we're seeing in the streets now, he says, when you see them and they're dressed in black and they have their helmets and the baseball bats, but the media cut that out. And he was talking about the anarchists that we see in the streets today. And the Democrats are, it appears to me, just looking at it, that they are pro-anarchists and they have created a monster that they are not going to be able to turn off. And we're looking at the beginning of a civil war. And it's between whites, it's between the anarchists and the accelerationists. And what do both of those groups of whites have in common? One is right, one is hard left. Both of them want to see the state collapse. Both of them, anarchists want to see the state collapse. Our accelerationists want to see the state collapse so that they can make an ethno state, which is a racist state. When you go through history and you look at what Marxism is and communism is for Black people, and we know what the nationalist side is for Black people, when you look at it, it's never anything good for us. So we need to start voting for us. And if they're not talking about reparations, a big thing, they're not getting a vote. Because we've tried that, oh, I want to be on this side, or I want to be on that side. And we have tried that. We can just go 50 years, but we can stretch back to W.E.B. Du Bois. We can extrapolate out and look at what was done. And we're still basically in the same boat with the same amount of wealth. So now it's time for reparations or no vote.
So I have a couple of questions. Well, one, did you say you were on last night or no, on the town hall?
No, I just want, I commented, I did a comment. I talked about the HBCUs and him making that permanent for about 10 years. The woman didn't know anything about that. But like I said, I'm
so
not
now you were there. No, you were there. You watched it. You were there.
Yeah,
He was watching.
No, I was asking because they talked about the reparations a little bit. Also, it wasn't a whole lot of talk, but that question did come up. So I have a couple comments, I guess, / questions for what some of the things you just said. So you were saying that these things, you know, what do they have to do with Black people? We talking about immigrants, other countries talking about, you know, as whole countries, you know, what does this have to do with Black people? What does it have to do with Black people if the anarchists and the, what was the other one you said?
Accelerationists.
Accelerationists are going at each other either. I mean, because we already experienced the racist. I mean, it's already a racist state for us. You know, we see that just like before you came in, we were just, you know, kind of having a small discussion. It didn't really get started about the Breonna Taylor indictment, if that's what you want to call it, that happened today. So, I mean, I feel like what we're living in today is just a manifestation of that. We live in racist states, but I also feel that just because something doesn't have to do with Black people doesn't mean you can't speak out against it or up for it. Meaning, it's just a messed up thing to say. You understand what I'm saying? Like when he said that coming down the escalator or whatever, and people, you know, got up in arms about it and what have you, and you like, well, what that got to do with Black people? Well, maybe nothing, but maybe just this time he said it about some immigrants, but it don't mean that the next time it ain't gonna be about Black people, and that Black people ain't gonna be expecting other people to stand up and say something or speak out against, you know, what's being done wrong to them. So I feel like the issue with, because you always have people that bring in like, well, everybody isn't racist and there's some good white folks and there's this, that, and the third. But the thing with that is that, okay, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's some, everybody that's white ain't, you know, don't think that your life don't matter, and everybody that's white. But how many of them are really speaking up and out against it either, against the injustice? So when these injustices are done against us or whatever, it's not only if it's affecting us, we need people to stand up and say that it's wrong, whether they look like us or not.
I would say that the other aspect of that is that we are, and another criticism of Black people is that we are so forgiving, so compassionate, and always thinking about other people, which probably we do think about other people more so than anybody thinks about us. Mm-hmm. But that's something that I think is just somewhat innate in us. And I understand where you're coming from in terms of this civil war or this national war that's going to happen that has nothing really to do. We're not going to be involved in it. It's the anarchists and the accelerationists.
Yes.
But somehow or another, we get caught in the middle somewhere.
That's because we're always trying to pick a side. There were Black people who fought in the Revolutionary War for the Brits, and they wound up in Nova Scotia after the Brits lost the war, right? And then there were Black people who fought on the revolutionary side. They kicked them out. There were Black people who fought for the South, just like there were Black people who fought for the North. So they're always, so when we see people who are saying they are, I call them Dixiecrats, excuse me, but Dixiecrats, or they say that they are repubs and they are Black. We have always done that. The only thing that we have not done is said we're going to stand as a block for ourselves. We know throughout history, we can go through history. Now, Felicia said that we need people to speak out. People traditionally do not speak out. I am out here in Las Vegas. There is no Latino American Black coalition. Latinos are for themselves. That is what they are for. Black people always say Black and Latino, Black and brown. You can watch them on TV. When they're talking about Latino issues or brown issues, they're talking Latino issues. Black is never in there, but you'll have someone sitting right there. You'll have an Al Sharpton, or you'll have some of the talking heads, and they'll say Black and brown. They never say Black, and we need to stop that, because the set-asides that were put aside for us, that Martin Luther King got his neck blown out for, that Malcolm X died for, that Medgar Evers died for, were not for minorities. They were not for immigrants. They were for American Black people who went through slavery, who were lynched, drawn and quartered, tarred and
Malcolm X also said, "I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against." And so I'm saying that to say that it doesn't mean that, and I get what you're saying. You understand what I'm saying? Like some criticism that has come from like the Black Lives Matter movement and some of these other things is that they're like, well, why don't you speak out for, or why is it's just not Black Lives Matter? It's Black trans lives matter, or Black such and such lives matter. And it's just like, well, dang, well, why can't Black people just have a Black Lives Matter? If you want to go start a Black trans lives or a Black, whatever thing matter, okay, fine. But how are you going to, you can't come in and change somebody's thing if they saying, well, I just want to say the Black Lives Matter. Maybe that includes that, or maybe that includes, but this is what my statement is. So I get it. I get it in terms, because I feel like sometimes we need to just have something that's ours. That's for us, that we don't always have to be trying to include other people. We got to take care of home sometimes first. So I understand that. But what I'm saying is, you can't look at the situation like the example I gave with the white people who are like, well, I mean, I don't want to see Black people getting killed, or I don't want to see whatever, but you don't stand up against it either, because you benefit from a lot of things that maybe you're not racist, but your family members that was racist, or these things that were written, or these laws that were written in place for you, or this redlining, or this, whatever it is that you benefit from. So it's only so much speaking out you gonna do against it. And I'm just saying that sometimes things, if it's just wrong, it's wrong. So, and as a leader, you're talking about someone who is a leader of a nation to stand up and say these things, when as a leader, your job is to unite, not just your people, but
All people
of this nation, that those are just messed up things to say. So I don't feel like in that sense, you know, when we're talking about this man in particular and all these crazy things that he says, that, well, I can't comment on that because it wasn't about black people. I'm only going to comment on the stuff he said about black people. Like, no, this man is just, it's not only just about black people. It's just like, you're just not a leader. You're more divisive than you are trying to bring any kind of unity, because you really don't care about nobody but yourself or other people that look like you and got money like you. So not just, we ain't even just talking about white people, because he don't care about the poor white people either. And that's just not the type of leader I feel that we need.
You know, it's funny because.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that Darrrel, do you now have your stuff together? All right, we go let D get back in here and do it back one more time, and then we're gonna go to Darrrel, who's been waiting for a while. Go ahead, D.
Okay, so you know, I have 2 shows on now. I have the TFR Podcast Live, and then my sister and I do a show, TFR Podcast Live OB Observations.
Where can we find that at, bro?
So that's on the Film Review Life channel. We come on Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Then we take the break on Saturday. Then on Sundays, the Film Review, Movies, Music, Culture, Politics, Society podcast, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. Subscribe, smash the subscribe button, smash the like buttons, click the bell so you'll be notified when we come on live. But on our show today, there's a meme, like we break down memes on the show. And so there was a meme where a woman who is an educator, her daughter goes to Alabama State University, and she sent her a picture in the sociology book where the chapter was deviance, right? And what was the picture of? It was a picture of a young black male in a t-shirt, in a designer t-shirt and some cargo shorts, and the police were standing around him searching his pockets. They call it deviance, right? And so that goes into the person's mind, into their psyche, and when they look at black people, they see deviance. But when they look at young Caucasians out there doing this destruction, they call them defiant. They are practicing defiance. So one is defiance, that's a slap on the wrist. The American black is deviant, practicing deviance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one. So that's the one thing. So we're looking at this theory which they're knocking down, that Trump is knocking down now, which is called critical race theory. Now, no one knew that critical race theory was implemented in 1989. I was going to my senior year in high school in 1989, and they were implemented through, and now the rich white communities have critical race theory, where usually it's based on critical legal studies, which is criminality, just saying that people are just criminal. So when you're looking at this, so this is my point. When you're looking at Black Lives Matter today, even when I first saw it come out, but when Black Lives Matter, back when it came out in 2015, they would lay out and do dead ends or dead outs, where they're outside and they're doing passive aggressive protests, right? But when this happened here with George Floyd, the majority of the people who came out were Caucasian. And unlike when Mike Brown died in Missouri, because the black people were called deviants, they brought out every type of military weapon. They tried every type of gun out, rubber bullets, everything, tear gas, everything. When the white kids came out, they were called defiant, and they treated them like kid gloves, and automatically the politicians started saying, oh, these people are doing peaceful protests. These people are destroying things in the name of BLM as anarchists. And then you have the accelerationists. And then there was an article that came out on Yahoo News where the accelerationists, the white supremacists, said if they caught COVID, it would be their duty to spread it. And there was a lot of videos going around where they were spitting on rails, spitting on buttons in elevators, spitting on the rails inside of transit trains and all that, trying to pass the disease. So when there's a tick up in COVID-19, it's because the young Caucasians who are just listening to hip hop or whatever, there are people who are agents in there that are spreading COVID-19. That's part of building up to collapse the state. That's what accelerationists are. Anarchists believe in not having a body like a government at all, where people do as they like. Neither one of those, Felicia, are good for Black people. Neither one of them are good. We can go throughout history and look at what the worker movement was. Unions were made so that Black people couldn't have those jobs. They rather would bring Germans in who were agent provocateurs, and the FBI had to handle them instead of dealing with the people who built the country, who would go right in and make the country strong. So when a group of people are talking about immigrants, when you go to Biden and read Biden's plan says they're going to give Black people loans with a $15,000 rebate. How much is an average house on a low level? $150,000. You got to pay the mortgage and you got to pay the property tax. $15,000 rebate is nothing, but what do they give to the immigrant, which is actually the set aside that was actually supposed to be put aside for American Black people that Martin Luther King got his throat shot out for? They give them a TIN number, tax identification number, which means they can get a driver's license. Then they have free health care, no copay, free health care, guaranteed. Then they're able to vote, and they have subsidized housing. And we're not talking about project housing. We're talking about housing in the suburbs, all in the point that they think that they will vote Democrat. And most of the time we are in a republic that is a democracy with a federal government. That's what makes it the experiment. We're in that. That's what we're in. So when the people come across the border and they see this, or just immigrants, legal immigrants, naturalized immigrants, or the illegals, they say we're in a republic. They see who are the strongest and they vote. Matter of fact,
D, we had 9:40.
okay.
And
We got time, chill. We cool.
okay, but I'm saying we got a lot of stuff, and I want to get Darrrel on.
I know, I just gotta get it all in, but go ahead. I'm here.
And we have a lot of stuff to unpack on what you said, because you brought up a couple points, and I think we may have to kind of go back over a couple of the list of the things that you gave and you said, and kind of come back to some of those things when we can take time to unpack them.
And I agree with you. I'm not, I agree with what you're saying. But most of the time, I feel like when the word immigrant is mentioned, you mostly talking about people of color. I'm not saying that it's not that you have to be a person of color to be an immigrant. That's not the case. But when we talking about something like Donald Trump talking about these immigrants coming in, or people from Mexico, these are people of color that he's most of the time referring to. But you are you're correct with the way that things are set up here, that somebody can come over here from the Middle East or Korea or whatever, and they can get business loans and all these things much faster than people who were born here. Meaning Black people specifically. So these things do exist. It's by design. It's on purpose that things like this happen. And also to your point about the deviant versus defiant. I was just having a conversation about this earlier today, actually, chill with Adam, our brother, Dr. Adam Banks, who's a professor at Stanford. You know, we were just kicking around this conversation a little bit earlier today on how they changed that narrative. Like today, you hear about all this unemployment fraud and all these scams going on, right? And every time you see it, it's like all these Black people getting arrested. This person was pulled over and got fined with like 10 different unemployment cards, you know, went from different states and blah, blah, blah. And they paint this narrative like it's just the Black people who are running these scams and getting this stuff and whatever, as if white people ain't been pimping this system forever. You know, they always want to make it seem like Black people are the only people who have ever had an idea or thought or let something play out on how they gonna get over. So, you know, we were just talking about how white folks was getting these properties, getting them Section 8 certified and putting all their family in it. So that ain't pimping the government. You putting your family in here, having the government pay you for your people to live here and y'all to come up and y'all to do like this. Ain't y'all been doing this? The reason why student loans can't be put in bankruptcy anymore is because white folks been doing that long before Black people even, you know, had the idea to do. They've been getting loans for college and then writing them, filing bankruptcy and just writing it all off, you know, to the point where it's like, okay, well, you can't even do that no more. So it's not like we the only people that's out here corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, no, y'all been corrupt since y'all stole this nation in the first place, you know? So yes, I'm just saying that to say, you know, your whole defiant versus deviant, they always gonna paint the picture like that. And I was just having this conversation earlier today. So it is what it is, and we just got to figure out, you know.
Felicia, Adam Banks owes us his face into place. We've been trying to get him scheduled to come on here for a while, and he's been saying that he's gonna come on. So we need to, we especially in the things that we're dealing with in society right now, we need that brother's voice to share with us on Chill Talk. I do now. Okay, it's 9:45. I know we can keep it rolling, but before I move on, Shelly, do you want to add on to something that some of the topics that D has brought up? Okay, I don't know.
Shelly might be, you know, she on her mini vacation with that.
She done threw her little face up there.
In the background.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna move on. Oh, well, I do want to say what's going on to my man, Stereo in the building. What's going on, Stereo? And Drew is really digging the conversation. Drew, you could have jumped on in here, bro. I saw you up in the chat yesterday. So
I heard he was up in it. I didn't even know he was in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, he was up in there going in.
Saw him in there.
Hey, I think he needed to jump out there and should have took up some of the slack of Donna Walker Brown.
Yeah, because I think he had some questions he was posing to Chantel and the Democrats in general.
Yes. So okay, well we got about 15 minutes. We don't have to stay within that 10 o'clock, but we're going to, you know, try. So, but I do want to bring in my brother Darrrel, Shake and Bake Sullins. I didn't know you were going to be on here today, but I do have on my, like you see, my No Negations shirt. What's going on, my brother?
Getting emotional. What's up, family?
What's going on?
Oh, you need to breaking some of them bricks over them people's heads in Kentucky, because obviously they need some sense knocked into.
So, Darrrel, we got a couple of things we need to take up with you. There was a wedding. Your son got married. Was this yesterday? Day before?
This was Saturday.
Saturday. Your son got married Saturday.
Yeah, in Tennessee, Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg. They have those underground caves.
Well, we wasn't in no caves. We were in a cabin.
Hey, those caves.
Yeah, that's like Smoky Mountains area, right? Like
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, the cabin we had, sleep 16, swimming pool, movie theater. It was great.
Last time I was down there, a bear attacked our little picnic.
Dee saw a bear. Every time he goes there, they see a bear.
Yeah, it was very unnerving to say.
See a bear show up. So Darrrel, real quick, your son has gotten married. I remember when he was born. How you feeling? How you feeling about that?
Come on, man, it's tripping me out. This dude is married, but one thing I said is he can't come back. You know, he's married.
You say that now.
No, I say that. Mama might say something different, but I say that. Because when he wants something, he goes to her. Because he knows I got questions.
Mama said he coming back if he wants to.
It'd be some discussion.
Darrrel, center yourself. Get a little bit more into the shot.
Okay.
I mean, not where you're sitting, but there we go. There we go.
All right.
So yeah, congratulations, man, to your son. And man, if that boy wanted, now when you say he can't come back, what does that exactly mean?
That means when you left, you stay gone. You got responsibilities and a wife. Now we help you out, but I ain't trying to subsidize you. Because you know, when they come back, they multiply. You know, like baby kids. you know. This is what I told him. I say, look, you guys have a discussion. You have to plan things out. I said, do not count her income because one of y'all gonna stop working because one of y'all pregnant. If you don't know that, we really need to have a conversation. You know, so because you know they're gonna run into hard times anytime in marriage and stuff. And I'm here, you know, but I'm not trying to inject myself in their marriage, but I'll still be dad and guidance, and that's what we do. But he's a great kid, not just because he's my kid, because that's why, Chill, I kept him around you and the other fellas, because anything was to happen to me, he had people that he can feel comfortable going to, you know, to talk to and get advice from, you know. So.
My man, I can't believe my man is that brother is married. Hey, these kids are great. Darrrel, I just moved my son. I had to go hook him up with had to wait for somebody to bring a couch. What's it? IKEA was bringing a couch. And I had to wait for the people in my son's apartment.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
I was just having that conversation the other day when I went to college. I bought a couch before I left, a pull-out couch from Jennifer Convertibles. Man, I don't even think they exist no more. Jennifer Convertibles. I don't know why I didn't step out and bought this sofa. I was so excited. I was about to have an apartment off campus. So I bought the sofa. Then didn't have no way to get it down there. So my roommate, Mr. Ross, who Chill has met, he's been on Chill's tour.
Yeah. He
strapped this sofa bed to the back of his Honda Passport and drove it 8 hours down to Virginia Beach to our apartment. And it was the best day ever.
Hey, I was trying to figure out, while I was sitting in my son's apartment while he was in class, for the people to come and bring the couch to the men. I'm thinking, why am I here? My father would be like, man, let me tell you something, bro. You better find some friends or somebody.
But he wouldn't have said it like that.
No, we cannot even say any of those cuss words that my father would have said. But yeah, he'd be like, man, you better find some of your friends and have them. I got to come all the way up there to sit in there. But no, I love my son. I waited up there and I was glad that he moved in. Okay, now what we really need to know about, and we want to know about how the company is going, how No Negations is going on. But we want to know about the brick breaking. Even Felicia heard about the brick breaking. Bruh, you teased it when you were on the show before that, but you showed up at the event. Now, just to set this up, it was a breaking competition.
Yes.
Everyone there were breaking boards, wooden boards.
Mm-hmm.
You decide that you go break concrete bricks.
Yes.
Now, I've seen you break 10 inches of concrete bricks. I've seen you do that before.
Yeah. Actually, 14 was the most I ever done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go jump your happy self out there and want to break 20 inches of concrete. And by the way, you were attempting to break them the hard way. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen, there's spaces in between when people break the bricks.
There we go.
And most of the time, the spaces are pencils.
Pencils. Mm-hmm.
So you at least get a little momentum going. But you want to be real special. You use pennies. That's hardly any space in between there. The bricks were so high that you had to actually get the leverage. You had to step up. I don't know what that was. Melvin said it was a jazzercise step. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
You had to step up on a step to get the height to break the bricks.
Right.
Felicia, Darrrel was out there breaking 20 inches of concrete at the wooden board breaking competition.
Well, let me say this. When I set them up at home, and I realized I had a challenge because the height of the bricks.
Right.
Because before when I broke to 10 inches on film, I used pennies in.
Right.
And so I know that the bricks that I had stabilizing them, they were actually too small. But then we measured, when I got there, I measured it and I said, this is too high. I said, I'm gonna take 2 off. And Jamal being Jamal, well, you advertised 20 inches. We gotta break 20 inches, So what he did, he got the platform and I tried it on there and I said, it's still too high because the mindset in breaking, where it's 5, where it's 7, where it's 10, it's not the top brick, it's the bottom brick. That's where your focus is. And so with the follow through driving towards the bottom brick, all the bricks above it will break. And like you said, normally I use the pencils for the spacers because of the height issue and the platform. I use the pennies, which is much harder.
It's a lot harder.
Right, because I couldn't fully get the drive. So when I struck the bricks, 5 broke. So I had to take them off. But here's the mistake I made. When I took the 5 off, I should have removed the platform because now I was too high.
Now you were too high up.
Right, and when I hit it the second time, the bricks, 2 broke and the bricks fell over. So I had to set them back up and break the last 3. But when I do it again, I got it down.
Okay, so you're saying you're going to do this, you're going to reconstruct this feat.
Right, because I anytime I broke bricks, when I first started, I started with 1, then 2, and so on. It was always 1 strike. I had to do it basically 3 times to break through the 20 inch. But it came about because my son, Mini-Me, is constantly trying to get the throne. Dad, you can't do this no more. You can't do that. And by the way, we shot the scene in the movie. You were supposed to be there, man.
Oh man, I had some issues that day. But go ahead. I heard it was really nice though.
Oh, it was tight. And the people that was in the scene in the church, they didn't come in till the last bit and they were shocked. They thought it was really going down, but it was cool.
But
anyway,
bricks in the church?
Huh?
You was breaking bricks in the church?
No,
he was beating people up in the church. It was a film. It was I guess the wrap of a film that's being made, and I actually was supposed to be there. I had a role, but Darrrel was beating people up in the church. And so I guess people came to the church and didn't know, like, oh my God, there's a guy here beating people down.
Yeah.
It's a, hey, Crazy D, he was a what? He was a deviant? He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was practicing deviance.
Yeah.
But you could have been defiant.
Yeah.
Apply it to you, right? Yeah.
But anyway, my son always challenging me and stuff. And so he said, Dad, you can't break bricks. So last summer I broke the bricks and it was funny. You know, his shock on his face. And so when we had Grandmaster Odin on, he was talking about the event and he always wanted our support. So I say, I'll come and I'll break some bricks. And so my son, we were traveling down to Canton and he puts the phone on live stream. And we just have conversation because a lot of times we use that for content. And he said, hold on, you talking about breaking bricks? He said, Dad, you can't break no bricks. You can't do this. And I said, I'm breaking 20 inches of concrete. And, you know, and that's how it stemmed out from going from what I normally do to that.
Now, what I really liked, because people, you know, from Enter the Dragon, you know, we've seen Enter the Dragon 5 billion times, and I've seen it probably more than anyone. But
I don't know. I can verbatim got the scenes, brother.
Oh, come on, man. You don't want to do that, Darrrel. We forge our bodies in the fire of our wills. But tonight we celebrate. But no, okay.
Your skills is extraordinary.
Your battle with the guard. Come on, man. And I was going to ask you to join us.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't mess with me by Enter the Dragon.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
I wasn't the only one outside that last night. But he did. Hey, that was the first Jim Kelly invented not snitching.
Yeah, right. I was out, but I wasn't the only one.
The only one out.
Come on now.
Because he saw Bruce Lee, said, well, what do you know, a human fly? Man,
yeah.
Started on Enter the Dragon. My point being, D crack it up. My point being is that one of the more famous, remembered quotes from the movie is when Bruce Lee said, boards don't hit back.
Right.
Okay, but let me tell you something. If you can break a board or you can break a concrete, you can break somebody off. All right. And one thing that I really liked, before you broke the bricks, you demonstrated how that technique would actually work, apply.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Doug. Big shout outs to my man Doug, Master Doug Crowder. Me and Doug used to have some battles. But anyhow. And another thing, Darrrel, we're all grown up now. When we go to support Grandmaster Jamal Odin's school, because we weren't always supporters, and they weren't always supporters of us. We were rivals.
Well, that's the iron sharpen irons, because we had to be sharp.
That's right. That's right. So but you know, as grown-ups, adults now, we come together and we work. But anyhow, you demonstrated on Doug where he did the technique. You took him down, and then you delivered the actual technique that you were going to do to the bricks.
Right.
So I thought that was a good demonstration of how that technique is applied.
Yeah.
So,
But the biggest thing when I do that, when I'm out speaking, and I always talk about perseverance and confidence, because you can have all the skills in the world. I don't care if you can be tight, you can be skillful, you can be what I call efficient. But if you don't have confidence, it doesn't mean a hill of beans. And so if you apply that in everything that you do, whether it's educationally, athletically, whether financially, whatever industry you're in, you apply confidence to the skill and persevere through the hindrance, you'll make it.
And I wanted, and that's, you know, and we believe in translating our martial arts concepts into various everyday activities. Mm-hmm. But I do want people to know, and when you talk about breaking bricks, breaking boards takes confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the strongest person in the world, and when you look at concrete blocks, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, when you don't break them, if you strike them and you don't break them, it's like it's like hitting a wall or just the street. It hurts. Like when you don't break them, it's a problem.
You're leaving that force there.
That is correct. That is correct. So
yeah,
big ups, bro. I saw you there breaking all those, and then I went the next day. And
the tire
and
flip.
the bricks were still there. I took pictures of the bricks. Your leftover broken bricks. I said I was inspecting them to make sure they were real bricks.
Oh, they were the real deal.
Oh, they were real, bro. Man, no, I applaud you for going out there in public and giving that demonstration. Before we leave you, how's the company going? How's No Negations going? And tell people what it is and how they can participate in it. And I do have on part of the No Negations apparel.
There you go. Company's going good. We're about to put more apparel in the Belden Village Mall, Blended, the store Blended. It got new management there. Actually, we had an opportunity for a new role to actually run a store that's going to be in Beechwood Mall, but we opted not to do that because all the stuff that's going on right now. The podcast is going great. Listeners coming on each week. I actually am launching a new business, SoulNet Impact Consulting, LLC. It's a diversity and inclusion consulting company that consult corporations on not just diversity, but inclusion. So they can get out of the, the check the box man mindset. We got this identity, so we're diverse. So I'm just launching that company, but things is going well. My other partners are now one, D and Ayla.
Right.
And he came over today. He said, "Dad, this ring feel funny." He said, "You better get used to it, brother." But things is going good. D actually opened up a gym in Alliance, and that because his niche is personal training, transitional training for weight management and performance athletes. He's actually training a guy now that's going professionally in track. So we got a lot of things going on, and that's COVID-19 stuff ends. We're going to be back on the road doing events, speaking, and all that stuff.
Felicia, did I tell you the story about when me and Darrrel were going to fight the entire lunchroom cafeteria at John F. Kennedy High School?
Oh, yeah. That would have been Enter the Dragon, baby.
They was chasing y'all like LL Cool J did Joe Little.
No, it wasn't no chase.
Okay, I'm not going to let you do that to Joe Little. I'm not going to let you do that to Joe. That's not quite what happened. But no, I'm going to make this quick. I walked into the cafeteria, and I had a people that because the lunch is different periods. So you have to check your pass if you eating lunch during that period. So I walked in, and my friend, it was two people checking, and he said, "Where's your pass?" And so I said, "Here, this is my pass." And so the other guy didn't think that was all that funny, and was like, "Oh, that's your pass, huh?" And I'm looking like, okay, well, yeah. So that turned into like this big thing, and but I was in 12th grade. At that point, I'm two-time national karate champion. I'm fresh off of beating people down.
And he didn't know that initially.
Right.
Until somebody hooked.
Right. And then he went and got he had a couple people. Next thing I know, it might have been 10, 12 people. So I'm looking for some of my boys coming into the cafeteria. So I'm not gonna say who my one boy who I knew from first grade. He walked in, I called his name, he looked at the situation, he called my name and kept going like it was a greeting. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He gave the head nod.
He gave me the head. I was like, yo.
Heard.
He was like, hey. And kept moving. Then Darrrel walked in. I'm like, okay, now it's game time. I'm like, yo, Darrrel, look. And he's like, Darrrel, like, well, what's up? Oh, okay. So yeah, so.
I'm like, man, come on, walk right through them.
But then they followed us and picked up some more people.
Yeah, they were waiting outside. I was like, uh-oh. Time to negotiate.
Yeah, we negotiated. We negotiated down to a heads-up fight.
Well, and he did not want that.
He didn't want that. He didn't want that smoke.
You know. But yeah, they had you surrounded.
Yeah, I was gonna fight the whole cafeteria. It was going down. Crazy D, it was going down. John F. Kennedy High School.
1979.
Okay, you didn't have to say all of that. You didn't have to say all of that.
Yeah.
But no, I know people especially Andrew, he really ride. I think Andrew's over here riding with Crazy D. Bro, we're gonna let you bring up a couple more points. Anything that you wanted to add in? I hated to stop your wisdom, but I wanted to get my man Darrrel, who would have been already done if he had just known how to work his equipment.
Is Drew still in here? I was wondering what his questions were, if he remembered the questions.
Drew,
hey, but Crazy D.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard that on YouTube. You are correct on that. I heard that. But something interesting that's on YouTube, if you pull up Malcolm X call was going on today in 1963.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at Malcolm X, it says white liberals and conservative. If you listen to that, he calls that out.
Oh, I was a Malcolm X listener way back in the 90s.
Yeah. He called this out today.
Yeah, I mean, he calls it out today, and it's two sides of the same coin. And it's just like Nixon came up with health care first and had 75% of what the Dixiecrats wanted. I just call them Dixiecrats, right?
Yeah.
He had what they wanted, and Ted Kennedy scuttled it. It took 50 years until Barack Obama, right? This is the type of games that the Dixiecrats play. Take Tim Scott. He had the Justice Act in the Senate. He said they offered them as many amendments as they would want to pass the bill, because the House was coming up with their Justice Act, right? And usually how government works is the Senate passes their version, the House passes their version, the House version comes over to the Senate, they go in, they do compromises, amendments, et cetera, then they send it back over to the House to put the money on it so it will have activity. That's why it's no vote for racist 1 or racist 2, because the Dixiecrats with Nancy Pelosi are playing American Black people with emotion. And they said, wait until Biden gets in there. If those bills have been ratified, I'm an American Black man, right? I'm about the voice of the American Black. Tim Scott is a Black Republican. So what? He had a bill. He said that he has experienced this being stopped so many times as a person that is a senator in the United States Senate by Capitol Police and police officers. He said he's experienced this. He has Black nieces. He has Black nephews. He has Black brothers. He has Black sisters. He has a father. He has a mother. They've all experienced this. I go by the voice of what the person is saying. They get first Cory Booker, who to me, we'll leave my opinion alone on Cory Booker, but Cory Booker was with it before he wasn't. Kamala Harris, because she is not a Black woman. Her father is Jamaican. Her mother is Indian, from India, Jamaica. She is not an American Black. This is what the whole...
Okay, but what'd you call her?
Her name is Kamala, not Kamala. That's the African pronunciation, the Black pronunciation.
Okay, well, I don't think she goes by any of those pronunciations.
Look, Kamala, that's what we call her. And that's Kamala is what?
Bro, you ain't even hit the actual how she pronounces her name.
Kamala. I call her Kamala.
Okay,
Kamala. See, Kamala is another one, but most Black people out here they call her Kamala, right?
Kamala.
No, most Black people call her Kamala.
Right. They most say come out.
Right. That's right. All right. So look, that's what the whole game is about. This whole thing is about bringing in immigrants. When you have a party like the Dixiecrats that tell you that besides people who were enslaved, this country was built by immigrants, that is a lie. The immigrant came here if they had money to buy property. Property was not land. What was property? Black bodies. Then they could get free land to build, to grow the crop, and they had the free black labor to grow the crop to make America what it is today. Immigrants did not build this country. American black people did. So when you have a party like the Dixiecrats saying the immigrants built this, that is all the way up a lie. And this is what the game is. The game is never to see a person that comes from the lineage of slavery to ever ascend to the highest offices in the land. If we want to see something, Barack Obama was Kenyan and Tanzanian by way of Kansas, USA, living in Hawaii, carpetbagged it over to Chicago to get his swag. He was not American black. He doesn't come from the lineage of 1619 or further back. Kamala Harris does not come from that. So when people say, oh, we've got a black woman, she went to school to get that swag so she would know how to talk to us. And when you listen to her on different programs, she uses that. When she was running for president, she said, I'm not going to do something just for black people. But when she was AG, she made sure that the Indian people coming in for the IT got all the jobs. She wasn't looking at American blacks. See what I'm saying? So what we're looking for as American black people is someone who comes from the lineage. We don't want an immigrant or immigrants or people who were born from immigrants to ascend to the highest land and say, oh, they're black. We tried that with Obama. Obama didn't do really anything for us, but he was able to sign executive orders for LGBTQ. He was able to sign for the Dreamers. And you know what? I just saw another meme and read the article. Donald Trump, the Mexicans are getting ready to vote for Donald Trump. The Latins, especially the Cubans always vote Republican, even though Carter was the one who brought them over here, thinking that they will vote Democrat, but they vote Republican. They're going to vote big for Donald Trump. And here we are on the out, sticking with these Dixiecrats, but I'm not voting for racist 1, and I'm not voting for racist 2. Look, it's like this. The other day we talked about 3 strikes and 100 to 1 first in the 80s under Bush 1, and then 3 strikes and you're out under Clinton. Biden was in there pushing both of those bills through, one under a Republican president, one under a Democrat president. Meanwhile, the main guy, why I wouldn't vote for either one. Meanwhile, the main guy, Ronald Reagan, to fund the Iran-Contra scandal to get a dictator out. We're supposed to be sworn enemies to Iran. They bring cocaine in, turn it into Ready Rock, which is called crack, to fund, to pay the Iran so they can send the guns to the Contras to try to get the leader out. And they destroyed the whole community, and we have something to do with that too. People who sold dope to their own people and they did it for a white man, that is one of the most coonish things that you could have ever done to destroy your community. But wait, here comes Biden talking about 100 to 1. White boys get a slap on the wrist because they are just defiant. Blacks 100 for the crack because they are deviants and they get put in. Then if they come out, then they get the 3 strikes and you're out. They got 2 on their jacket. They get another one. They're going for life. And then Donald Trump is the one that's reversing all that. Biden was the one who destroyed the black community by pushing those bills through. And I'm going to vote for them. I went the college route. I didn't go serving crack. So that's not a stain on me. But I saw my friends go away. I saw the cohesiveness of the neighborhood be destroyed in the United States of America. The hood, it went from neighborhood to hood. And I'm going to vote for this guy who put us away. Donald Trump didn't rent to black people because, unfortunately, the white people that were in his buildings didn't want to be around didn't want to be around them. So he did what he did. But here's a man who actually sent you away, actually sent your people away, decimated the community off of something that a white man did to fund a war over halfway around the world. And we're going to vote for either one, but I'm definitely not voting for Biden.
Hey, D, it seems to me why you continue to say that you're not voting for either one. It seems that you're giving your man Trump a whole bunch of passes.
I'm not giving him a pass.
He doing better than the lady.
He should have been. Yeah, he should have been.
No, listen. I'm just using. We keep on saying that we're in this system, right? Donald Trump is a racist, but so is Biden. Biden has proven to you that he is a racist. He has proven to you by his actions by actual bills and legislations and bills that were passed into law that destroy American black community.
Well,
and
I will say this, D.
We're gonna forget about that. We're gonna forget about what he did that because we are in fear of a man, and Donald Trump is not gonna be able to do anything.
D, let me say this. Hold on, bro. Let me say this because we taking long. We're long, and we do have Andrew back. I don't know if Andrew, before we finish it out, if he wants to come in, because Felicia wanted to know what your questions were. But I do want to say, D, you've said a lot of things. I mean, a lot on a lot of different topics. So I will say that we probably will take some time to go back over a lot of the things that you said and kind of unpack them because you brought up a lot of things. So we're going to try to go back over some of those things and reconvene on this discussion on some of the many points that you brought up. Now, I don't know if Felicia, if Andrew, you were asking for Drew, if he had some questions or some statements that he was bringing up during the thing, but he's back.
Yeah, so I didn't see, I heard last night he had put some questions in there, but I didn't see what those questions were. So that's what I was wondering if he wanted to throw those out there and if anybody wanted to comment on them. I mean, I know, none of us in here is Chantel Brown, but, just for the sake, because he didn't get his questions even asked last night, apparently.
So Drew, this your shot, bro. You in here? Let's do this because we about to close this one down. I think not that this will turn off at 10:30, but I believe. Well, we'll see. But speak now, Andrew. Let's get it in there, bro. If not, we will reconvene this because we went over a lot of topics that needs to.
Yeah.
To go
and it could
back.
be I don't know if he's trying to type because maybe it's just a long question or however many questions there were, but Drew, the Zoom link is also in the chat if you want to come on, but I don't know if you're available to do that.
Can he come in? That's what I was saying. Come on in.
That's what I'm. Yeah. So the Zoom link is in the description box and in the chat. So. Come on, bro, jump on in there if you can, or at least let us know if you're trying to come in or you writing a question. Come on, bro, or you got to come back for part 2.
What's that on the wall, Crazy D? Is that your Republican card? You got it blown up?
She hollering.
You know what? I've been registering people to vote since I was 19 years old, Felicia. I'm 49. That's 30 years. I remember going down with the Organization of African American Unity from out the Crossroads Center at Cleveland State, going down there to 36th and raising my right hand and getting it. Then in 94, I called and said, I used to be with Organization of African American Unity. They said, well, you can be register of voters by yourself. I've been registering people to vote since I was 19 years old. And the Democrat Party, we had Mason. Mason was sending more.
Okay, hold on, D. Hold
I'm
on.
just saying, I'm fed up.
Hold on, I understand that.
Straight.
But we have this because Andrew said that it's been a good show, but he's gonna wait for part 2. So D, I'm just letting you know, you've made a lot of points on a whole bunch of different levels. So we're gonna, you know, like I said, unpack some of those things and try to address several of the points that you have brought up. But yeah, so Andrew, be here for part 2, bro. Because yeah, a lot of things have been said. We want to kind of address some of them, but it's almost 10:30 now. So hey, great show, guys. Shelly, thank you for Team Shockley. Thank you for that. And I still want to know about that app that makes your hair blow and the palm trees blow behind you. I don't know how. That's the Beyonce app. I don't know. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, nothing is coming out of mine.
Well, I'm looking forward to part 2 because I agree with a lot of what he has said, but I want to hear what the solution is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And D, I want to go back to the part where the people were spitting the COVID on the rails, and you kind of.
I have the video. I have the video.
I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't, but you also attached. I think the term you used was an uptick of COVID, as if that was the reason that it happened. I don't know if you have a video for that, but you connected the uptick of COVID.
Well, at the same time, because you know the kids wear the swoopy hair that are doing that Adolf Hitler thing, the alt-right people. And it was spring break, and you know the young kids out there, so the young white kids out there, and see, when you research and you study what white supremacists believe, they believe that if white people, like what Felicia is saying, the good white people who usually don't say anything, either way or the other, if they are not for them, they are against them. So they want to find a way to wipe them out too. That's why when you watch videos on the anarchists, that's why the anarchists said they stepped up, is because of the fact that the accelerationists said they're coming to disrupt peaceful protests. So here came the anarchists, and meanwhile the anarchists have co-opted Black Lives Matter. So when you see when I hear them say Black Lives Matter in the media, I'm saying, oh, those white folks. They're the ones walking up to other white folks talking about, raise your hand, no justice, no peace. What do you know as a Caucasian about no justice, no peace?
Not a darn thing.
All right, we will return, and if people, and it just popped up on my notification bar, if people are interested in, if you know Yvette Carnell, her show Breaking Brown, one of the leaders of the ADOS movement, at least on the internet, she's on here talking about Breonna Taylor, and she just went live a minute ago.
Yeah, I heard that apparently there's a cop that's been shot down there during the protest. They're just talking about that.
I wonder who shot the cop. Was it white Black Lives Matter? Hashtag BLM. Did you know last thing?
Okay, come on, man.
Last thing. Did you know that one of the co-founders, I forget her name, but we just did the show on her. She just created this new thing called Black Futures Labs. She's moved away from Black Lives Matter because I wrote them. I said, have you been co-opted? Because all we see is Caucasians. They never got back to me. But now she has this new thing called Black Futures Labs. All you have to do is just Google it, and they're all Fortune 500 looking in nice suits and ties. She's moved away from Black Lives Matter, which makes her look like she was an agent all along, because she says she's a trained Marxist. And Marxists or Marxism is nothing but the study of capitalism to come to the ultimate decision that communism would be better than capitalism. That's what Marxism is. So when people say they're Marxists like it's some big scary thing. No, that's just the study of it to come to the conclusion that communism would be better than capitalism.
Okay. Well, one thing for sure, D, you provided enough tape to be able to go back and view things that came right out of your mouth and things you have asserted. So you provided enough tape for us to go back and look at and kind of assess some of the many points that you brought up. So I know that Andrew said he's looking forward to part 2, and probably a couple other people. But we'll run this back and we'll rejoin this conversation. But Shelly, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
The beach looks nice, warm. Darrrel Shake and Bake Sullins. Hey, congratulations. And we do have to hook up the guys and do this Zoom thing, and they're looking for a Mu Phi Beta reunion. Melvin called me about the D. We just started a martial arts fraternity years back.
What's it called?
Mu Phi Beta.
What's the symbol?
Darrrel, you want to go
fist?
back over there? Well, it's an actual crest.
Right.
Okay.
It's an actual crest. The guy, the founder of it, Brother George Moore,
The
third, no doubt. He's made transition, but he was a master at Kung Fu, very intelligent, wise brother, knowledgeable of many things. He was.
It could fight.
Oh,
400 pounds.
Oh, he was a big guy. He was. If you saw him, you think like, oh man, this big old dude don't walk this work. He gonna get tired after swinging twice. No, you would have that wrong. Anyway, we'll talk about that. But yeah, what I was gonna say, George Moore III was so smart. He was smart enough to create a ceremony as a young man for his own funeral service.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the opportunity to perform that ceremony for him, which is probably the way that he would have wanted it. But hey, Darrrel, we'll talk about that. Haney, we'll see what else is going on, and as we see what's going on in Louisville, and what we're going to do as part of the GCLABJ after our successful event. D, we'll be back with you always. Appreciate you stopping through and dropping all of that information, even though you're still showing off with your background. You just started out green, and then you hit us with it. Like, oh, let me put this on. Bow. That's okay.
It looks like you did something different with your hair too. You got like a.
Oh no, it's getting. Well, I don't know what but it's getting long. So I tie it up now. Get it out the way.
What do you put in it?
You done got fancy.
What you put in it? You got lock lotion or what is it?
Oh no, the sun naturally locked my hair. I didn't twist it or anything, and so it's just naturally do it. So what I do is I just use lotion or Vaseline, really.
Fruits and berries.
Oh,
Vaseline and water.
Fruits and berries. Okay.
Well, Chill, you got the run Shaw master thing going on down
man.
there.
I'm trying to. And see, now here's the problem that I have. Everybody keeps suggesting that this is Asian because I've heard Fu Manchu. You done hit me with Run Shaw because nobody gonna know that the Run Shaw is the producer of those old school Golden Harvest Kung Fu movies. But why can't this be like Egyptian pharaoh comedic?
Because you're a master in the arts. So that's what I.
Why can't it be Genghis?
I'm getting Asian vibes.
How come it can't be Genghis Khan?
Okay, if I square it up some, will it have the pharaoh look?
Yeah, that would. That
Boom,
would.
Bam. Okay.
You got to get the.
Because, I could go Pi May and just go it down that long and be flipping it around on the Pi May tip. What y'all know about Pi May? Y'all don't know Pi May.
You gotta get you something else for that. You gotta get you some crazy deluxe or something with it to make it more.
All right. We up out here, guys. I might go and see what Yvette Carnell is on here talking about on Breaking Brown. Appreciate you guys. We
always appreciate y'all.
Return with this. And at the last minute, still, if anybody wants to drop anything in the tip jar,
In the kitty.
the kitty, we have PayPal and we have Cash App. So last I look, I ain't see nothing in there, which is what I normally see. But I keep hope alive. All right, guys.
Well,
appreciate
thank
you, Shelly, over there cracking up.
Conversation, Darrrel. Just don't break your son down if he come back now.
Nah.
Don't get the Garvin stomp.
Nah. That brother, he know my house, my rules. He ain't coming.
All right. We up out of here, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.